So in computer science, recursion refers to a function that calls itself. Okay, so we in the definition of the function is a call to that function so that it can sort of descend in this interesting loop. And I have some additional fractals. This one I had drawing before class, and it's a relatively well-known fractal pattern, although it's drawn at a relatively low resolution because otherwise it would take hours and hours to render. This one takes about 10 minutes or so. This is called a dragon fractal. And I colorized it because the interesting thing about this is that you can actually see sort of the big design here, right, is repeated on many different levels inside the design. And if you look, you can sort of vaguely see that because of the colorization. The other interesting thing about this fractal is that it's drawn using a single continuous line. So it starts here and ends here, and that whole pattern is one continuous line. I'll start it again so you can see how it sort of develops. But you can just see that this path, as it's drawn, just sort of wanders around back and forth, and it seems like it's kind of random. It never actually crosses over itself. That's another interesting thing. And it will continue to draw. It'll draw the exact same thing every time because it's a mathematical formula that derives that picture, but it repeats itself. And inside that design are copies or smaller copies of that little design. And that's a more complicated fractal.